Hello everyone, my name is Ting Leung, and I'm excited to present my research dissertation, Student Life Navigating Employment, Self-Care, and Well-Being. Let's talk about the reason why I would choose this as my research. It's because university life can bring a lot of stress, academically, financially, and emotionally. Many students work part-time while trying to keep up with the coursework and personal responsibility, and that can affect their mental health. I have personally experienced this. I've worked during the term time and noticed that it impact on my stress level, and I have seen this among my friends. And at the same time, I also find that engaging into self-care, like going for a walk, relaxing, or spending time with the loved one, help me feel more balanced. This made me curious. Could this time students spend on employment or self-care be influencing their academic stress or mood? Mental health concern among students are rising. Over 35% of the university students globally experience a mental health diagnosis. Some students even find that students had report more psychological distress than the general public. We can see that university life is more than just attending lecture now. It's a major life transition that involves adopting the independency, high expectation, and a fast-paced academic environment. This stress can lead to poor mood, burnout, or even dropout. That's why understanding the source of the stress and way to manage them is very important. Due to the rising tuition costs, many students take on different jobs as part-time jobs or full-time jobs. Although working can often beneficial to our life, like financial independency and learning new skills, it often take away a lot of academic and personal time as well. It can also influence our academic commitment, especially when students are working more than 15 hours per week. This time pressure can lead to fatigue, missing lecture, particularly for students who are still learning how to manage their time effectively. And the role conflict can lead to the emotional fatigue and burnout as well. Self-care refers to activity that maintaining our physical, emotional, and psychological health, like adequate sleep, healthy eating, or socializing. Despite its benefits, self-care often gets pushed aside due to maybe the deadline we have to finish or even the part-time job. Research shows that students who engage in regular self-care report with like lower level of stress, stable mood, and better focus and stronger resilience. That leads to the focus of my research. Does the time students spend on employment and self-care related to their academic stress and mood? To explore this, I aim to examine differences in academic stress and mood based on the time spent in working and engaging in self-care, and using the result to inform strategy to support student mental health in the university setting. I propose four hypotheses. The first one is academic stress would have significant differences based on employment hours. The second one is mood would have significant differences based on employment hours. And the third one would be academic stress would have significant differences based on self-care hours. And the last one would be mood would have significant differences based on self-care hours. Let's move on to the method section. In this study, I use a quantitative between group design to examine how student weekly hours spent on employment and self-care influencing their academic stress and mood. One way ANOVA were chosen to compare the outcome across 4 different groups for each variable. This design allows us to identify whether differences exist between students who report spending various time in working or self-care. For participants, we chose to use the convenient sampling, which we have recruited participants through the Sonet and social media. The inclusion criteria is the university student who are aged over 18, and the exclusive criteria would be that the individual that diagnosed with any mental health condition. Participants have been asked to complete a 30-minute questionnaire using the Sci2 kit, and the questionnaire have 4 sessions, including the demographic data such as age, gender, and then they need to answer how many hours they have spent on both employment and self-care. And later I have labeled them into 4 groups, which are none, low, medium, and high. And to measure academic stress, participants have to complete the academic stress inventory, known as ASI. Last but not least, for mood, we use the positive and negative affect schedule, known as PANAX. Our research has been approved by the Bangor University Ethics Committee. All the participants were informed about their rights, including the option to withdraw and direct to student support service if needed. Once the consent form was given, they will have to complete the survey on the Sci2Kit platform, where the data will be stored securely, and no identifying information have been collected. Move on to the result section. Let's have an overview of the analysis. As I mentioned earlier, one-way ANOVA have been used to test the differences between different variables. Out of 183 participants who initially started the study, only 95 participants has submitted a completed and valid data, and those 95 were included in the final analysis. And I find that there were a significant differences in academic stress across the different self-care hours group. Students who spend more time on self-care report have to be having lower academic stress. However, there was no significant differences found in mood and self-care groups, especially in the positive affect. But for the negative affect, the differences is 0.09. Despite this trend didn't reach the statistic significance, it could point toward an emerging relationship worth exploring further. It may be a larger or more detailed study. For employment hour, surprisingly, there were no differences found in both like academic stress or mood. This result suggests that self-care plays a very crucial role in reducing academic stress, because more self-care hours can link to significantly lower academic stress. And that means self-care is not optional, it can be essential as well. For university, this highlights the importance of embedding self-care into the student experience. For example, the university can offer self-care workshop like stress management course or like mindfulness workshop. And student union can run a little bit of peer-led activity like yoga, walk and talk, or even art therapy group. And the university can consider to incorporate some flexibility in the deadlines, and also this personal tutor can have like a little bit of check-in session with the student as well. And I think this could be very useful, especially during the very stressful time that students are experiencing, like the exam period. It can help them to build up like resilience, reduce burnout, and enhance their student like experience and well-being as well. Although we didn't see a significant mood differences, the trend in the negative affect is still worth noticing. The possible explanation why there's like not a statistical significance in this session can be not self-care is just not about the amount, but also the type and quality of the self-care. Active self-care, like exercising, social connection, may have a stronger effect than passive one, like scrolling down the social media or watching the television show the whole day. University can also offer a variety of self-care opportunity to help students to explore what can be working for them emotionally and help them promoting emotional regulation alongside their academic success. For employment, I find no strong link between employment hours and stress or mood, which suggests that employment doesn't always equal to stress. It can depend on individual experience. Maybe sometimes the job type and flexibility of the job, and even why we choose to work, like the purposes of working. Is it because of the financial need? Is it because we want to gain experience? It could be the reason why we feel like stress or affecting our mood as well. Also, individual like having different time management skills and support network can also affect the whole experience of employment. Like all research, this study has its limitations. First, the use of self-reported questionnaire can lead to bias because some answers may have been influenced by our memory or social disability. Also, since it's a cross-section study, it's only a snapshot of time. We cannot see for sure whether self-care reduced the stress or if the low-stressed students simply have more time for self-care. Also, we haven't measured important factors like the job, different type of jobs, academic workload, or financial stress, or the type of self-care. So we cannot eliminate other effect on the mood and stress. And lastly, panic is only reflecting a short period of time of affect, so it may miss the deeper trend. Looking ahead, further study could adopt like a longitudinal method to better understanding how self-care and work influence well-being over time. It could also be important to move beyond just counting the hours. We can explore what types of self-care students engaging in and how meaningful they find them. Just like I said before, active and passive self-care can be so different in the effect on the mood and stress. And also variable like job flexibility, financial needs, and coping strategy can reveal a deeper insight. So using a mixture of not just the survey, but also the interview could also help paint a fuller picture of how students manage their stress and mood. Thank you. This is the end of my presentation. Please feel free to ask any question in the chat.